Hey, what's up everybody? This is Sage Lewis from Search Engine Guide, and this is what's in the news. First off in the news, where is my computer? I do not know. It is out in the ether somewhere, but other than that, there's a ton in the news, so let's get right to it. Alright, first off in the news, from Cone Inc., a branding company. They did some research and they find that Americans expect companies to have a presence in social media. But it's not just any presence. In fact, almost 60% of Americans interact with companies on a social media website. 93% of Americans believe a company should have a presence in social media, while an overwhelming 85% believe a company should not only have a presence, but also interact with its consumers via social media. Staggering numbers. Everybody wants everybody to have a social media plan. That could be good ammunition if you're trying to get your clients or your company involved in social media. Marketing Pilgrim reports that Facebook grows 50%. That's good news, but MySpace is still number one, and the reason is because MySpace has 67.54% of market share compared to Facebook's 20.56%, but take a look at this fancy report here. If you can see some of that, there's MySpace number one, Facebook number two, My Yearbook tagged, and what is that, Tebow, and you can see the changes over here. MySpace dropped about 10%, Facebook up 50% in the year, My Yearbook up 256%, tagged 147, and Babo 32%. Pretty shockingly big numbers. Over at Webmaster World, a very awesome forum, Google AdWords section. Protect your AdWords account. There is a lot of phishing going on in Google AdWords accounts these days, meaning people are sending out emails to try to get you to give them your AdWords account information so they can put their own words in there and spend your money. This post by NetMeg here gives some tips on how to avoid this. Some of the tips are: go through and change your passwords on your AdWords accounts. If you manage clients who have their own passwords, send out a quick email to those clients warning them about all the AdWords phishing and not to click on anything they get in the email. Something else that's interesting, campaign management, that go into this area, campaign management, then tools, and then my change history, and run a report for at least the past 30 days to make sure you can account for every change you see in there. There is a lot of this going on, and you would hate, people are losing thousands and thousands of dollars on these phishing schemes, and you do not want to be one of them, I promise you. Advertising.microsoft.com/AdCenter-Learning-Center, or you can just do a search for Microsoft Ad Center Learning Center. It's this awesome learning center about Microsoft Ad Center. It just came out this past week, and there's a lot of great information. Top questions: how do I track my conversions? Can I use dynamic text in my ads? Can I have multiple accounts on my build? What's new? On and on. This is a nice addition. Microsoft keeps pushing out the innovative strategies. Keep an eye on Microsoft. They really want to be a major player in this. They don't have certainly anywhere near the market share of even Yahoo or Google, but I predict we're going to see big things out of Microsoft. MySpace has a do-it-yourself place where you can buy targeted ads at MySpace. Advertise.myspace.com. You can check it out, and you can promote your site here and segment it by gender, age, particular interests, and that sort of thing. So if you think that possibly a MySpace advertisement campaign might help you, I'd recommend you come and check it out. At Search Engine Roundtable, they report on, in Google Groups, removing bad keywords improves your Google AdWords quality score. Some of the recommendations are: look into your keywords and clean up those that are not performing well. They shouldn't be there. If you have keywords that also have a 0 click-through rate, a 0% click-through rate, and a few impressions, you should also remove those. Those phrases could be hurting your overall quality score, and nobody wants that, because you don't want to be paying over $100 a click, do you? No. All right. At technomarketer.typepad.com, a very interesting social media type of blog, put up a interesting graphic of the U.S. Facebook population by age, and as you can see over here, 18 to 21, very long line. But the fastest growing segment are the 30 plus group, and you can see here the 26 to 30 group here, 31 to 35 over here. It's a pretty interesting breakdown. You can learn more at technomarketer.typepad.com, put out by Matt Dickman, and he goes into more depth on this specific happening. At the Google webmastercentral.blogspot.com, a very, very interesting topic on dynamic URLs and static URLs. Now, you might think dynamic and static URLs are the exact opposite of interesting, Sage, but they are not. This is actually a great breakdown of this. If you haven't studied this kind of topic, this is a really great write-up on the overall topic, but check it out. Down here, read this. If you're using URL rewriting rather than making a copy of the content to produce static-looking URLs from a dynamic site, you could be doing harm rather than good. Feel free to service your standard dynamic URLs and we'll automatically find the parameters which are unnecessary. And then wait, there's more. So, if you have a dynamic URL which is in the standard format like that, we recommend that you leave the URL unchanged and Google will determine which parameters can be removed. This is like an earthquake in the SEO world because up until now, Google advocated rewriting URLs and now they are advocating not rewriting URLs. I wouldn't jump on the bandwagon yet. Just wait till this shakes out. You want to see proof. Look and see when you type in your key phrases what kind of URLs come up for your key phrases. Are they static URLs or are they dynamic URLs? That's the proof in the pudding if you ask me. There's a new blogger in town. You can go over to blogspot.com and kind of a boring looking blog until you get down and find out who wrote it. Posted by none other than Sergey Brin of Google fame, one of the co-founders of Google, starting his own blog, and he writes here at the bottom, welcome to my personal blog. While Google is a play on Gogol, which 2 is a play on a much smaller number, 2, it also means in addition, as this blog reflects my life outside of work. Apparently this is going to be Sergey's personal blog. That might be fun. He's not a extremely prolific blogger, so it's not difficult to follow him because he doesn't post a ton, but every time he does post, that is interesting. Check out what Google's doing at labs.google.com/Goody, the a little reference to the Italian architect. They are doing audio indexing of videos from the political campaign. So over here you can see a Barack Obama video and you can search inside this video. It pulls it out. It listened to the video, indexed the actual text, and then you can jump to the sections that talk about the economy. You may not be into the politics of this season, but you should be into this technology because very likely it's going to be coming to other videos down the road. Pretty exciting. And then finally, if Google couldn't be innovative enough, they're thinking about taking barges and putting their data centers on them and sending them out to sea. Why? Water-based data centers would use wave energy to power and cool their computers, reducing Google's cost. Their offshore status would also mean the company would no longer have to pay property taxes on its data centers. So they're giving back and they're saving taxes. It's a win-win-win. This is a patent that Google put out that the, let's see here, Times Online reported on. And Google stated that they sometimes use their patents now, they sometimes never use them, but it would be interesting to see if they did indeed use them. All right, everybody, I know that's a lot of news, but I had to tell it to you because there is this good stuff, right? You keep coming right back here to Search Engine Guide as I give you the latest, most important web marketing news, and this is Sage Lewis from Search Engine Guide.